Hi, today in this video you will learn how to fetch nearby places like bank, ATM, hospital and restaurants and show them on Google Maps. So let's get started. First we create our project. Here we select Google Map activity, click on next, name of our project. Here I'm selecting language Java and click on finish. After creating project, our next step is to get the API key. So open your browser and here we search for Google Developer Console. Click on Google Developer Console. Here we click on Dashboard. First we create a project. Here click on New Project. Name of your project. Here I'm providing the same name as our Android project name for consistency. Now click on Create. Here we select for API and services. Click on Credentials. Click on Create Credentials. Here then click on API key. Copy this API key. There is no need to click on Restricted key. Simply close. Then Enable API and Services. Click on Enable APIs and Services. Here, click Maps SDK for Android. And click on Enable button. As you can see, it enabled. Then click on Places API. And similarly, click on Enable button. So we enable two APIs, Maps SDK for Android and Places API. Now get back to our project and inside Google Maps API.xml, we paste our key. Now our next step is to add the required dependency in build.gradle app level. So here click on build.gradle app level and here we add the required dependencies. I have added three dependency, one for play services map and one for location and one for volley to read the JSON file and then click on sync now. In this project, I'm using Compile SDK version 29, Minimum SDK version 19, Target SDK version 29. Now our next step is to design our layout. So open activity maps.xml. Inside this relative layout, we create one linear layout and add 4 buttons for bank, ATM, hospital, and restaurants. Here inside the drawable folder, we add some vectors. So click on vector assets. Similarly for ATM. For restaurant. bank. So here we add hospital. Copy this and paste. Navigate for ATM. Now another button for restaurant. And the next one is for bank. Now here we add below linear layout. Here you can see the layout. We add 4 buttons for hospital, ATM, restaurant, and bank. And we add one fragment for map. It will show the user current location. Now open maps activity.java. So first we get the current user location. First we create Fuse location provider client. Fuse location provider client takes care of all the connection logic on its own. Then we create a variable request code. Now, inside the onCreate method, we initialize Fuse location provider client. Now, inside a maps activity.java, we create a method to get the current location. Now inside this get current method, first we check for the location's permissions. So here we write a condition that will check the location permissions. So here we check for the location permissions. If it is not granted, then we request for the permission. And here we pass a request code. Here you can see we check for the location permission. If permissions is not granted, then we request for the permission. Now inside maps activity.java, we create an override method on request permission result. Now type Control O, and here we check on request permission result. And this on request permission result method is used for the result from requesting permissions. So here inside this method, we request for the permission. If permission is granted, then we call get current location. Now move to get current location method. After check location permission, now we create location request object, and this object is used to request a quality of service for location updates from the Fuse location provider API. So here first we create location request object. If you want high accurate location, you have to create location requests with set priorities. Here I have set priority high accuracy with intervals. Here, location callback is used for receiving notification from the Fuse location provider API when the device location has changed or can no longer be determined. So here we use location callback to receive the notification. So inside this location callback, we create a override method, control O, on location result. And this method is called when device location information is available. So inside this method, we create a toast message that display the location result. Then we write a condition to check the location result is null or not. And if our location result is null, then we print a message current location is null. We simply return. Now we write a for loop to get the updated location. If our location is not equals to null, so here we check the condition. If location is not equals to null, simply show a toast message that will display current location. So here I'm using request location update that will request regular updates about a device location. And here we pass location request, location callback, and null. Now we will fetch the current location using get last location. Now we have Fuse location provider client and we get the last location. Then we will add success callback listener to the task object, which will invoke once a connection is established and the location is fetched. So task dot add on success listener. So here we first check our location is null or not. If our location is not equals to null, then we get the longitude and latitude. Create a variables for longitude and latitude. Location dot get latitude. Here I put a condition that if location is not equals to null before getting latitude and longitude, so there may be a case like location is turned off in the device setting, The result could be null even if the last location was previously retrieved, because this stable location also clears the cache. So you must check your device location is turned off or on. So please check your device location. Now we set the marker. Here we pass let line, and then we provide title. Now move to on map ready method. Here we remove this code and call get current location and run the project. Here it asking for permission. Now you can see the current location. So after getting the current location of the user, now our next step is to get the nearby places like hospital, ATM, bank, and restaurants. So here we create a class. Now this class is used to retrieve data from URL using HTTP URL correction and file handling methods. Here we create a method to retrieve the URL. Here we pass our URL. And define HTTP URL connection variable. And create one input stream. Here, we're creating an HTTP connection to communicate with URL. Now connecting URL. Now inside input stream, we're reading the data from URL. Here we use buffer reader, which is used to read input stream. Here we use loop to read the data. Here we add the data to the string buffer. This class return data from the URL. Now we create another class. And this class will help us to get the nearby places data. We create some variables. So here we extend async task. We pass object, then two strings. And then we implement methods. So here do in background method is used to perform the background operations. Here, with the help of the download URL class, we retrieve the data from the URL and then we return Google Nearby Places data. Now we create another override method on post execute. So after retrieving the Google Nearby Places data, we pass this data to on post execute method. So the data we getting from the URL in the form of JSON, which is need to be parsed. To pass the JSON data, here I'm using volley. Now create an JSON object. Then create an JSON array. And here we pass results. Here result is an JSON array, and inside this array we have parameters like geometry, latitude, longitude, and location. Provide the same name as I'm providing here. Now we will set the marker to the locations. Here we set the title, the name of the places. Now open map activity.java. Inside the onCreate method, first we define our image buttons. Then fetch the ID from XML file by using find view by ID. Now work on set on click listener. Here I'm using string builder. So this string builder contains the address of our JSON file. Now we create the object of the fetch data class and then we execute it. Similarly, we do for hospital.
Here you can see the output. When I click on hospital, it's showing nearby hospitals. Then I click on ATM, it's showing nearby ATMs. Then I'm click on restaurant. Then bank. Here you can see the nearby banks.
Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe my channel and share your feedback in comment section. Thank you.